All right, so we're gonna jump right into this. I've already removed all the intercooler piping. I figured there was no need for me to show you how to remove all of that. It's all sitting over here, including my little block off plates that I got made, which we'll get to later. So here is a box of 2.5 inch just intercooler piping kit, a couple of straights, two 180s, two 45s, two 90s. And then I ordered, separately, I ordered two 2.5 just 90s. So I haven't fully got everything I'm gonna do here yet as far as the idea. But the idea, for the most part, is gonna be coming from these end tank, going back on both sides. And it looks like I might end up not clocking the actual turbo. I might end up just having a pipe just come straight down and connect over here. We'll see. This side might be a little bit more of a pain in the butt with this intercooler that I have. Lots of people just keep saying different things about how the intercooler is much bigger, blah, 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 that I've seen on different pages. So the intercooler is not necessarily small. You can look up the specs on it and how wide it is. The biggest thing that it is, it's actually 3.5 inches thick. That's the biggest thing. So what I'm going to try to do is reroute the intercooler piping so I can bring back my fog lights. And that's basically the whole thing. Otherwise, I'm not going to touch Greg's piping because it worked just fine. And God forbid I have to go back to something, then we'll figure that out. So for starters, I know for a fact I'm going to have to at least cut some of this area out on both sides. So I'm just going to get to that and we will go from there. Alright, so this is obviously the cut up bumper that I've been running from, I think, probably the last video that I posted now. So you can kind of see, getting down its level, I actually ended up raising the intercooler. I don't know if it's going to stay here. This is just, again, an air experimentation. And you can see where it sits above where the lips is. I'm going to have to cut out this front grill regardless. Obviously, if I can route the piping through there, will be cool. Now, that being said, this would be kind of dumb as far as where the bottom lip of the CRX sits, kind of going underneath that. So the intercooler is definitely going to have to come down. The problem with it coming down, it's going to kind of play a hassle with me routing my my lines through there. So let's take this off and go back to the drawing board. All right, so now it's bolted back up how it always is normally. That's where I guess it's gonna have to sit, so we're gonna build it off of that. As you can see, I've already kind of cut out some of the area there. I don't want to really cut into the frame too much. And you can see this 90 degree, I've cut off quite a bit. It just has too much of a tank sitting on the end there. Over here, it probably would be maybe okay, kind of coming through. So what I didn't want to do, I didn't want to have to cut off that lug there, but I think I may just cut that lug off, use this 180 here, and try to work it so I can weld it right on the edge of the actual intercooler and have it go straight through the back. Because worst case scenario, if I mess it up too much, well, I'll just call Greg and order another intercooler. Not what I want to do, but we will go from there. All right, so the end tank's pretty much cut off, and we need to make a real sharp 90 in there. So the 90 bends that I came with the kit just won't get in there fast enough. So we're gonna have to make some Piecuts, and that's where we're gonna go to. All right, so here's my pipe. Basically drew a Sharpie line across the top, and then drew another one 180 degrees off. Many ways you can do this. I'm just gonna show you the way that I'm gonna do it. So for this first cut, I'm just gonna take off the actual bead roll there, and I'm just gonna kind of line this off just so it just kind of nicks on that there. And again, we're at 11.5 degrees. All right, simple as that. And if you look, my Sharpie line is at the top here, so all I'm gonna do now is loosen it. I'm gonna flip the pipe over and put my Sharpie line that was 180 degrees off, put that up at 12 o'clock. Make it gently snug here. Lower the saw a little bit. Now here's where mine's gonna come into play. I need this to be really tight, so I'm gonna try to make this what's gonna be the problem is I'm gonna make this as small as I can down here, but it's gonna be a real pain in the butt to weld because of how thin it's gonna be. It's gonna be real kind of time consuming. So I'm just gonna get a measurement. Let's do that. And let's just see what this comes out like. All right, so there's my first cut pie right there. So I'm just gonna cut a couple of these and we will go from there. Alright, so now if you look closely, you can kind of see it's a nice clean cut from the saw for the most part. We got some light burrs. So what I'm going to do is just kind of turn the flap disc on and just gently touch all around it. Alright, then I got a little burr whip. I'm going to go on the inside of them. It's going to take any burr that was off on the inside of the tube. You can use this for like sheet metal stuff too, to go on the outside. It's just kind of difficult on these little Piecuts. Alright, so you can take preferably a red Scotch spray pad, or I'm going to take 500 grit sandpaper here just to kind of clean up anything else here, any little rough edges and any of this little coating that might or might not be on the tube. Alright, so everything's nice sanded, clean, there's no deburrs, she's real smooth. Take some acetone on a rag. Even though it looks clean, it's not necessarily clean. Just gonna do a quick little wipe all around it. Outside, inside. Look at that. See how dirty that is? Pretty much gonna keep doing that until it comes out that it's clean. I'll do that to every single one of them, and then just give them one last quick wipe down. Alright, so here we are. Using out of the kit. A couple that I was using coming down to this 90. I put a 90-degree elbow on there. And here is what has been a pain in my butt. So, I know you're going to say maybe you could have done this another way. So, it's because of the width of the intercooler. It's wide enough that I had to cut the end tank off. And I've got the radiator pushed over as much as I normally do, just so I've got some clearance between the downpipe and everything. So, Piecut, all kinds of shenanigans just to get this thing kind of going out. So at the moment, it'll kind of have to slide through there. That'll end up being welded to that. Then for removal, I'll have this right there. And I know it's kind of running into it, but I should be able to adjust that just a little bit. Or if anything, cut the 90 up a little bit higher to move the 90 that's on the pipe up a little bit. So, time to get to welding. Alright, so here it is all finished up. I'm going to give more credit to any automotive fabricator that does Piecuts and stuff. This is a pain in the butt, especially once you get up inside of there. There's some areas where there's some good beads, some areas where it's kind of meh. Overall, it'll work. I'm happy with it. I just marked it now on the intercooler where this is going to be. The 3 little Sharpie marks there, so we're going to kind of line those up, tack it, and ship it. Alright, so I'm sure there's tons of ways to do this. I'm just taking my 2 Piecuts that is clean, deburred, and everything else. Kind of line them up. You'll probably see there's no nice fit up there. There we are, simple little tack. Alright, so then I got those 2 pieces tacked together now, 180 degrees, and now I'm combining all 4. Again, I'm not really squeezing in the vise, I'm just kind of gently putting some pressure on it. So, here's the pipe we just got tacked up now. If I stick it on here, that looks real good. Looks like it'll be kind of going in that way. And then I'll be able to, essentially, so if you got a Piecut like that, if I was to rotate one, it then brings it back. It's kind of hard to get my hand up in there, but I think you might get the idea. Alright, so intercooler's off. Here's my hot side. You can see some of the welds are good. Some I got a little crazy about right there-ish, but then it's just a matter of patience, honestly. But it should work. So I kind of threw it on there through my lines. It's a little bit tighter fit here than on the cold side as far as everything else. So I'm just going to kind of line these up with my 4 Sharpies, tack her in, and let's see how she goes. Alright, so this is just some aluminum that I've been using since the build here. It's just a piece of aluminum that I just kind of hung over my bench, bent it. It's not that it's not strong, but obviously the angle that it's grabbing in at isn't very strong. I eventually will probably have this attached also to the top bar here, just for some extra stability, but for the time being, I'm going to grab some 1/8" aluminum that I've got, which is a bit more stout than this, and basically just replicate this bracket. I won't be able to bend it here because I don't have a brake, but a welder, so I'll just Have one straight piece here, one straight piece there, put a bead on it on both sides, and let's see how that works. Alright, so I've got one little flange just kind of roughly bolted up in there. Sharpie the back of this one side. I'm going to stick it on the side like this. Try to stick something behind the hole there so I can figure out where to drill it. Just a little drill bit in my hand. And you can see I just kind of scraped it around. It goes right there. Alright, so here's what the intercooler looks like. It maybe a quick glance, it looks okay. I do think, you know, the design of the Piecuts and stuff came out okay. The welding of the Piecuts that you saw earlier, I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10 by any means. There's definitely better beads out there in the world, and I'm kind of embarrassed as far as me, you know, being able to weld how it turned out. But I had to definitely learn a bit. I don't normally weld on that thin of stuff, let alone that many beads that close together. So heat control on that pipe cool down is definitely gonna be a big thing that I'm gonna do in the next setup. But I'm not using it. I'm not using what you just saw for the main reason of when I went to go weld the 63 thousandths walled pipe that I made to the 1/4 inch end tank that's cast, I knew that I had to put more heat on the cast piece than that thin tubing, and I did, and I was able to run a bead that was mediocre, kind of up to par with what the Piecuts and all that stuff looked like. But when I went to go leak test it, it leaked tremendously from all over the place. All right, so since it leaked, it's kind of like one of those situations, if you've ever been in like a train wreck, that basically, you know, it's not good, and you're like, all right, I can make this better, and you try to make it better, and it gets worse, and you're like, all right, I got this, and you go at it again, and it just continues to just be a downward, you know, slope. So that's what it was. It leaked. I found out where it leaked, tried to patch that up, leaked in a different spot, and I was just chasing myself all around the place like an idiot, and basically looks like someone took gum and just smeared all around it, and it doesn't leak now. So I could throw it in the car. It does actually line up with how I did it, but I don't like the way it looks. You will see those welds, definitely they're right in the front of the bumper. I just don't like them. Call me OCD, it is what it is, but it's just not going with the car. I don't like it. It's not necessarily like a show car. Obviously I do drive the car and I'm taking it to a track strip, and as soon as the situation's over, I'm gonna be able to hopefully go to the track strip way more often and finally get to an autocross track, but I just don't like the way it looks. So the mounts kind of came out all right for the time being. You know, loaded those, grounded them, whatever, painted them black. All this area I'm just gonna need to kind of spray gently with color matched paint, and I'm gonna put some black trim, just kind of go around it just to get rid of the rough edges. So with that being said, I also ordered now a custom intercooler from Greg at Go Auto Works. It's gonna be 1/2 inch thinner, so instead of 3.5 inches, it'll be 3 inches thick. It will be 2 inches shorter, and it will be, I want to say 4 or 6 inches, I don't remember off the top of my head right now, 4 or 6 inches shorter in length. So that should allow me to basically just throw some nice 90s couplers on it, going straight back, and then I can reassess and build some more Piecuts, and we'll go from there, and I'll learn from my first experience. It is what it is. You live and you learn. It's just part of the game when you're trying to learn stuff. And what really I'm just more upset about is I know how to weld. That's just a little bit different than what I normally would do, but I know the fundamentals, so there's really no excuses. I will admit though, the cast, that 1/4 inch to the 63 thousandths wall was kind of a pain in the butt. Obviously people out there can do way better. It is what it is. I'm gonna try again, but I won't be welding to that. I'll just be making basically the pipes of the Piecuts. So enough rambling. It is what it is. I'm gonna move past it. New intercoolers ordered. I've got a bunch of stuff I still want to do. Just need the intercooler to show up. And until next time, I do want to say thank you. As I'm recording this, I just hit over 1,000 subs, and that is super unreal. If you're watching this part of it, I can't be more thankful. It's just kind of crazy. I remember starting with, you know, whatever, 0 obviously, and I was just kind of doing it again for the reason of I was watching people, and it kind of gave me the motivation to kind of get back and finish my car. And now I've gotten numerous comments or messages via Instagram or you know, on YouTube saying, hey, you gave me inspiration. That's literally exactly what I wanted to do. So I have hit my actual goal with it. My overview video blew up. I did share it on some CRX pages, so I honestly told my myself. I was like, okay, if I share it on there, I seem to have some popularity with the car. It'll probably at least be, you know, I don't know, I'll probably be able to get like 2,000 views or something like that in a day. And it is, I don't know, at like, I don't know, 45,000. I really just, I can't even, I have no really words. I'm just super appreciative of everybody that has watched it, continues to watch, and who starts to watch from this point on or wherever. It is what it is. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say, I guess, besides thank you. This is just crazy to me. So I'm going to end it again now. Sorry for rambling. I just wanted to tell you guys, everyone, thank you so much. So if anybody does have any comments, concerns, tips, whatever the case is, I'm always welcome to hear them. Just please throw them in the comments below. If you want to see some more up-to-date stuff as I do it, Instagram is definitely my fast way of viewing it. Just my Instagram is in the description, or it's my name, just Justin Goodell. But as I do stuff, I kind of just post it on there a little bit quicker than I put out one of these videos. So again, thanks everyone. Tune in for the next video.